Alright, I don't know about the monkey banana cost, says Simon. So this is the game you lost to Reapers. And, I mean, most of the ladder maps right now are not very good for Reapers. So this map, for example, right here and right here are the only two spots you actually have to defend to make yourself completely immune to Reapers. So in the very early game, until you have your 10 Marines to make your poke, you just want to keep half your Marines here, and one Marine or SCV at the Watchtower. Again, in TVT, it's the only matchup where vision is really, really important. You always want to have a guy at the Watchtower in TVT, because if the first time you see him... Terran is the glass cannon race, which means you are the glass cannon race, which normally is okay, but when you're playing a TVT, you're both glass cannons, and that means like fights end instantly, and there's just tons of damage that gets done all at once. Which is why you really want to make sure that every single troop you have is in the fight every time there are any fights, especially if you don't have a bunker or a wall in or any of that kind of stuff. So you know, obviously this is really bad, and you're losing a bunch of crap, and that's silly. I did tell you before that it's important when you engage Reapers to pull your SCVs because they're really strong, and you can usually micro so that you don't lose any SCVs. But there's a difference between fighting one Reaper and fighting 3 Reapers. With 3 Reapers, he can one-shot SCVs, so you can't keep any of them alive. So fighting with SCVs against 3 Reapers is very bad. Oops, I have to rewind. So, in this case, I don't know. I mean, theoretically, you still want all of your troops here and here, and a guy at the Watchtower, until so far into the game where medevac would actually be a threat, right? Because Banshees aren't a threat until 7 minutes. Medevacs aren't a threat until, like, usually 8 or 9 minutes, because even though they could have one at 7 minutes, there'd be nothing in it. And frontal attacks, while you're moving across the field with your army, are not at all a threat. So keeping your guys here is just a waste, because no one can attack your front when your guys are in his base. So, I mean, I'm hesitating here because I probably wouldn't have defended against these Reapers either. So, first of all, theoretically, defensively, you need to just cover this area and then you're safe from Reapers. But you didn't know Reapers were coming, and you didn't have the Watchtower, and even if you did, he could have gone around it. So you just never knew the Reapers were coming until they were there. So if that's the case, if Reapers show up and you didn't know that they could be here, as soon as you see the Reapers, you kind of got to go into panic mode. So we talked earlier about how you want to have your guys on a hotkey so they can respond instantly, but the 2 guys that just popped out a second ago, I think it's pretty excusable not to have them on a hotkey. This is just really bad timing. You like happen to have your whole army over here and been looking at it when, bam, Reapers show up. So anyway, I don't know that I mean, you're just starting reactors, and you only have 1 more Marine coming out. Even if you took all 6 of these Marines and fought, I think they would lose to these Reapers. So you're going to lose a lot here no matter what you do. SCVs are fast enough compared to Reapers, I think, that they can just be pulled. No, Reapers are faster than SCVs, but they stop to shoot. So yeah, pulling SCVs will keep them alive, granted. But most importantly, you only had like 8 SCVs on the low ground, so most importantly is defending these guys, because that's where most of your SCVs are. But again, you're not making Marines out of these Raxes, so you do immediately re-rally here to defend against the Reapers, but since you're not producing anything, re-rallying doesn't help. And then jamming this up with SCVs is a pretty smart move, but this is just number of actions available to you, right? So you want to attack in with these guys to cut off the path of the Reapers, and then take these guys and start moving up to the high ground. Because again, the low ground, it's lost. There's no longer anything down there to defend, so who cares if the Reapers go back down there? You really just want to defend these Marines. So these guys wanted to attack until the Reapers backed up, and then retreat until the Reapers come to this choke, and then come back, and then retreat and come back, just to keep the Reapers bouncing around while the Marines kind of mop this up. But there was no way to get through this without losing around 8 SCVs. So, I mean, you reacted particularly badly and lost a lot more than 8 SCVs. 29, it looks like, 31.
Add-on complete.
But even the best case was to lose eight or more SCVs in that to those Reapers. So it was just really bad timing. Good luck for the opponent, bad luck for you, kind of thing. Anyway, even after that, you're on 2 command centers, he's on 2 command centers. He's supply blocked, he's been watching his Reapers. You have a little bit of chance to catch up here while he remains supply blocked. But you're losing that chance now, and now you guys are both kind of stabilized, except you're just way behind. Anyway. And again, I think that just comes down to practice, man. How many games have you played where Reapers showed up and you know, has your response been that bad every time? Has it slowly been getting better? Have you been, you know, stuff like that? It's hard when, you know, the first indication you have of what's coming is when it's already there. That's never the situation you want to be in. Yeah, Gwenny? No, definitely not.